Hi guys, and welcome to Valigara's Jewelry e-commerce webinar. Today we're going to talk about going multi-channel with your jewelry sales. Let me give you a short introduction about Valigara before we begin. So Valigara empowers jewelry and diamond businesses in the e-commerce era. We enable leading jewelers, brands, and e-commerce companies to grow their online jewelry business with Valigara's all-in-one software solution. Valigara's online jewelry manager platform manages all aspects of successful online businesses. It lets you manage your product portfolio and optimize your online presence across your website and leading marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and many others. Valigara also helps you increase sales and save significant time and money. Valigara simplifies inventory and orders management, online marketing, purchasing, and fulfillment, automating the daily operations in selling jewelry and diamonds online. Valigara integrates with all major e-commerce marketing and jewelry platforms. Our deep industry knowledge and advanced technology give you full control of your business and frees up 80% of your time to focus on creativity and growth. Today we have with us Valigara's CEO and co-founder, Igor Nusinovich. Igor is an international jewelry e-commerce expert and is the CEO, as I mentioned, of Valigara. He has managed hundreds of online jewelry stores and is a jewelry e-commerce veteran with over 15 years of experience. Hi, Igor, how are you?
Perfect, thank you. How are you?
Great. So we're live on this webinar and we're also broadcasting this webinar live on Facebook. So hi, all of the Facebook viewers and followers who watch us. And with no further ado, Igor, so how are we going to go multi-channel with our jewelry sales?
Yep. Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, today I specifically selected a very interesting topic. It's quite a professional topic and quite advanced topic, but I think it's very important because what we often see is that people do not really understand what is the difference between working with a website or working with, let's say, an Etsy store or selling jewelry on Etsy or on Instagram or whatever it is, or just switching from the offline world into online and having the first foundation online, and then what does it take to be from one place and into multiple. So this is what I would like to discuss. So I was instructed to use to run a presentation. So let me start my screen sharing.
By the way, if any of our audience would like to ask Igor a question during the show or afterwards, please write us your questions in the chat and we'll make a best effort to answer them during the webinar or afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Odette. So here we are. As you know, we do our monthly webinars, and every time we pick together with our audience the themes, and we want to speak about multi-channel. Multi-channel is definitely an advanced practice of running the e-commerce operation. So, okay, so let's take a look at it after this beautiful presentation of how great I am in the jewelry expert. I can skip this. And I would like to first explain what is the idea of the single channel and multi-channel and cross-channel and so on. When we start working online, we select some specific store or point of presence. So this point of presence can be an online store. It can be an Amazon store. It can be external marketplace. It can be our proprietary store, for example, a Shopify or WooCommerce website that we create. It can also be a social channel. For example, now all of us know that Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook are probably the most relevant social networks for us. So we start in one place, running this one place and bringing leads or maybe even the sales into the company. Now, the advantage of this definitely is the simplicity. It's quick. It's you don't have to learn too much. And then with time, what we see and what definitely happens with the company, as we see that our foundation, our foundation is established, we tend to switch to multi-channel. What's the idea of the multi-channel? Let's say I have an Etsy store. I learned what basically does it mean that I am successful on Etsy. This means that I know to create the photography, create the descriptions. I learned to maybe in some way use the PPC, the promoted listing, the advertisement. I learned the logistics. I created a good customer service. I am ready to work online. Now, 80% of your preparation is actually the same when you go to different marketplaces. So once you create this effort, once you invest this effort into going online, the next logical step, if we have the success, we actually we say, wait, let's repeat the same. If I'm on Etsy, let's go to eBay, let's go to Amazon, let's go to Overstock, let's go to Bonanza, let's go to the relevant channels for us. Now, this is the concept of multi-channel. Of course, it requires more learning, but then it means that I am accessing different target audiences, because Etsy has its own target audience, its own community. eBay does, Amazon does, each marketplace. Now, this is the idea of the market of the multi-channel market. And the difference, of course, here is that besides that, we can also adjust our product line to the requirements of the marketplaces. I can be in multiple places. At the end, it means cheaper. Why? Because I can find what marketplace or what channel works better for me, for the specific products, for the specific period, for the specific life cycle in my company. I can always play with these multiple channels to see what works better at the specific moment. So, this is the concept. This is the difference. This is the idea why from the single we normally migrate to multi-channel. And the next step I want to touch here, which this is a known thing. I want to expand it a little bit. There are two additional professional terms, which is cross-channel, and omni-channel. The difference between multi-channel, for example, my eBay and my Etsy and my Amazon. I had 3 stores. These 3 stores, they have no idea that another store does exist, and they do not nurture each one. Now, that on the cross-channel, for example, if I have, let's say, my Etsy store, and then I open the additional presence in my Instagram. Now, my Instagram influences my Etsy by bringing the traffic from the community, from Instagram to Etsy. Now, the Etsy basically gives me the foundation for my Instagram to work. So they work together. This is the difference between the multi-channel, when the channels have no idea of each other, to cross-channel. And next and final, this is the final destination. This is why we see how Amazon is growing and why Walmart is growing so much in the last years, is the combination of the online and the offline world. So this is the only channel. So we know that jewelry is a wearable product. It's a unique product. So people need, our buyers need more information. Sometimes they do want to check it, and we want to reduce the amount of returns. So we do want our clients to be as confident with the product before they buy. So on the omni-channel, we can basically create a multi-channel or omni-channel strategy by addressing our potential buyers on the website, let's say, or on eBay or on Etsy, and then according to the to all the marketplace rules, or everything should be, of course, very respectable to the place where we work. Lead them to our store, show them the ring, let them wear the earrings and the necklace, and see how it's on the body. So this is the concept of the multi-channel. Now, from here, again, as we say, there are some very clear things we have to concentrate on. We have to take a look at the logistics, improving our handling times. The returns management becomes very important. The fulfillment, how you're basically how you handle the multiple warehousing, all this stuff, logistic, customer service, the better response times, different time zones, and you have to allocate people for this. And then technology, do you have the right automation? Do you have the right control? And are you able to scale? And the budgeting and the products. Now, the products, and here especially where on the product side is where you utilize the multi-channel abilities, because different product lines can be adjusted to different sales channels. So now that we know what we have to concentrate, we can see basically that both the logistics and the budgeting and the customer service and the products line, they have actually nothing to do with e-commerce. They're something we have to establish in our company. And once done, we actually are ready to go into multi-channel. Also into e-commerce, but with the same success. Well, not exactly the same success, but we'll see why. Also into multi-channel. So here we normally think about what is the synergy between the marketing, between the different marketing steps. So we separate between the push, connect, and pull steps. Briefly say it, I don't want to be concentrated on this too much now, but the idea of the push, connect, and pull is that everyone wants to be in his own website. Everyone wants the buyer to step into his physical store. But so for this is the reality is that we're not alone there, and there are millions of great products online, millions and thousands and hundreds of thousands of great websites. So basically, to pull the clients into our website is a little bit not a trivial thing, at least at the beginning. So how we use this synergy, we start with pushing ourselves into the places where clients already are, which are the marketplaces. So we start with pushing ourselves to eBay, to Etsy, to Amazon, according to what matches, and maybe it's Amazon Handmade, maybe it's Bonanza, maybe it's Overstock. So depending on what we sell, and maybe we're in the B2B, so we need to be maybe on LinkedIn and not on the regular marketplaces. So we push ourselves into the place which already has the traffic. And then on the second step, we stay connected with the client, because maybe the first purchase will not be the most effective and profitable for us. And then we pull the client as he already has this trust. He has this positive experience by buying from us, and basically we even know that the second purchase is about 30–40% higher than the first one, simply because people have gain this trust, they have the history of success, and they're ready to spend more, to go next with their relation, because actually when they pay us, they have this relation. We create some relation to our buyers. So the marketplaces bring new traffic into our websites. Our website proprietary websites, they bring trust to our eBay or Etsy or whatever stores, Amazon stores, by showing, hi, here is the company, here's the history of the company, and these are real people. Here is an established website, and this increases the value. And then, of course, we work hard at this, both on the external marketplaces and on the website, to create our community, and we unify all this in this engagement model, which is the social marketing, email marketing, all the things that we do. Let's call it CRM, some place where we organize our community. And then, of course, we use this community for the repeating sales and support of the brand. So this is basically the marketing synergy, the three-step marketing, as we call it, that exists whatever we do, whatever channels we use, to work single or multi-channel. So the multi-channel shows this, basically the synergy shows how the multi-channel empowers, how one or more correctly cross-channel strategy shows how one channel, one point of presence can support another one. Why we're doing it? Simply to establish a very natural, normal brand macrocosm, like creating some place where our community, we don't lose it, and we do not, and simply say we do not compete with James Allen or with Blue Nile, trying to fetch new clients directly from Google. It's obvious that Google having such a great websites for 20 years will prefer them and will overpay for the PPC, for the paid campaigns. So this three-step marketing, this synergy brings us basically to the next step. This is okay. It's quite clear why we want to be multi-channel, to optimize our presence online, and how do we organize ourselves for the multi-channel. So let's take a look first at the business side and then the e-commerce side. Let's say the technical side. On the business side, what we actually need, we need some synchronization. This is the preparation. How do we switch? Now we need to create some synchronization between all the channel. Now people come to Valigara with multiple websites, very successful: eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Walmart, WooCommerce website, very active social marketing, and there is no one place that organizes it all. So first thing is we want to synchronize. Obviously, we want to first think, and very clear, is the inventory. We want to plan the inventory, we want to restock, we want to purchase, but that's not enough. That's not enough. We need to synchronize also our product information, for example, because if we have conflicting information on our website and on our Amazon store, it will harm our online presence. It will, in some cases, lead to very disastrous results. It's an extreme case, but we do want to make sure that we do not disturb our clients from buying, because if we have some conflicting information, let's say I have Etsy title and I have some Etsy description and I have some tags, Etsy tags at the bottom of the page, and then my potential buyer sees different information in different places. So naturally, it will harm his conversion, meaning it will not allow him to make the purchase because he is getting confused, and then he doesn't make the purchase. So the product's information must be synchronized, and you should have also quick control to this information. On the operational side, when I'm going into production, okay, I have now 50 orders from my eBay store, from my WooCommerce website, from my Magento website, from the Facebook store, Instagram store, and all this should be somewhere in one place. So this is from the production, from the fulfillment. How do I send all this together? How do I manage the market, tracking, the process, the post-sale process? All this should be synchronized. This is the main challenges that we have. And of course, the sales and the customer service, the moment that we create the standard workflow, work pipeline, it simplifies our life, because we know that it doesn't matter if the order comes from Amazon, from my Etsy store, or from my Shopify. I know what to do, what are my internal processes. So we need a quick control for this, and all this has to be synchronized, because if we have a success manager simply following up that after 3 days, if my jewelry wasn't sent, I want to receive a message saying, "Hi guys, please take a look why this order is still not sent." I don't want to check every day 5 times separately the Amazon Seller Central, and then the eBay Seller Hub, and then the Etsy, and then my Shopify. Simply because they change, and because it's an overload. So this is about the synchronization. Now, another aspect that we have here is where I specifically want to concentrate, and this is the #1 request, of course, the inventory management. Naturally, when we start working multi-channel, we want to share the inventory. So we want to switch from allocated to shared. We want to utilize, if I have 5 necklaces and 10 chains, I want them to be available both on my website and on my Amazon and on my Etsy. And if I work with distributors, I want to have a feed where I have precise quantity in the stock, which I give to my distributors. So we want to move from okay, having 3 allocated from Amazon, because Amazon was not synchronized, and 3 was allocated for eBay, and 3 was allocated for Etsy. This is completely ineffective, totally ineffective. We want to say to each marketplace, I have 9, don't worry. Now, next thing which we face on going to multi-channel is multiple warehousing. Because, for example, if I work with Walmart, I might use Walmart fulfillment. If I use Amazon, I will use quite naturally. If I'm not in diamond jewelry, I will use FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, and maybe I have my website. So if I have my website, I will use my own internal stock, and maybe both of them. So we need to synchronize the work of the multiple warehouses. I will use it, but in addition, there are two additional things that I can use, opportunities that I can use when I go multi-channel. First, to cover when I go multi-channel, different logistics. I will use different logistics for my eBay, for my Amazon, according to what they prefer, and to my website. And of course, different workflow. And another thing in the inventory we see, because we want to share the inventory, we switch often from real to virtual inventory, meaning I don't have these items right now, but having a normal purchasing model and having a normal orders management, I switch to virtual marketplace, because online we don't sell real products, we sell just information. So this is the #1 challenge that we have, setting our inventory, create a normal synchronization between the channels, and having a quick control and predefined workflows to go online. Now, this is from the business side that we need, that we basically need, because if we're ready from the product line, we have one successful on the single channel, then we need to create this synchronization, and much more focus goes into inventory. Now, on the e-commerce side, the moment we go online, we stop thinking products. We start thinking data, start thinking products information. We don't sell products online. We sell online information about products. So the moment we go multi-channel, there is much more information. We need to handle the data more effectively. We have to be much more focused on the data, because each marketplace requires you different information. So if I cannot post jewelry to Amazon without stating the UPC, I need to make sure I have UPC issued for all my products. If eBay requires me to have some style or some metal information or that purity, I want to make sure that I do have this information to make my listing effective. And knowing generally that people are buying information and not data and not products, I'm very focused on data. Next thing, critical for multi-channel is data structure. When I'm on Etsy and I have my 15 fields that Etsy expects for me, good, always good. But when we go multi-channel, we have to have the right structure, so that the moment that the requirements on eBay change, or my SEO expert on my website recommends me to do 1, 2, 3 with my images, or whatever it is, I do need to create the right data structure to know to store all this information and have it accessible. Now, and of course, 2 additional concepts that we have: the data reusage and enrichment. We want data work for us and not opposite, not we work for the data. So data reusage means, okay, I already created the imagery. I have all the media. I have measured. I have prepared the pricing. I have created, I have put it in a specific logistical, in some specific warehouse, or I know all the processes. I want to reuse it multiple times. Now, each time I will adjust it to specific point of presence if it's a marketplace. So we know that Amazon has, let's say I have an item, I have a ring size 7.5. So eBay expects this ring to appear with a size 7.5. This is the measurement line that eBay uses. Now, Amazon uses 7 to 7.75. Etsy uses 7.5. So we want to reuse the same data. Actually, we have just one basic data, but we want to reuse it differently in different marketplaces and different. So if I take tomorrow my items to Google Shopping, I want to make sure that the information about my necklace, the length, will be in inches. And if I go tomorrow to United Kingdom, I want to have the same information in centimeters. So data reusage is very important as we start to play with multiple channels. When we are single, it's single. And the enrichment. So if I have the same information, I want to organize it differently and create marketing information. For example, Amazon expects from us 250 characters in the title, and then eBay allows us HTML in the description, and the title on eBay is 80 characters, and on Etsy it's 140. So we want to take the same information and enrich it, meaning create matching titles based on the same information. Enrich it from the product data, pure product data, into the marketing data, create a marketing assets based on this. This is the enrichment. And now, this is the process that we do. So how does it basically go? How do we organize? How do we structure the data? We start with the ERP, meaning our materials. This is my product. This is the chunk width. This is the length. This is the 4-prong, and this is the double hollow. And the style is, I don't know, floral, and so on and so on. Based on this basic information and the quantities and the weight and precise stone weight, and the central stone we have 1, and then the hollow has 20 stones, and on the shank another 8 melee diamonds. So this is the ERP step. The next is the product information management, the PIM. Product information management is a little bit different. I am reusing the same information, as we said, using the data enrichment. Let's create titles based on the same ERP information. Let's push now 3 products to eBay, 3 products to Amazon, 3 products to Etsy, and the 5 products to Google Shopping actions based on the same ERP, based on the same product information. Next step, as we go forward, we want to control channels. So we have to synchronize, think about our channels. What do our channels want? How they expect to have this data. We have to learn this and adjust our product information to these channels. Next step on the multi-channel, unlike the single, right? We have to unify our orders and handle the orders. Now, not always even you will have the same brand. Not always you will handle the same orders in the same way. So you can, for example, offer, well, you have to offer, let's say, 3-day delivery on eBay or Amazon or Walmart, but our Etsy store offers 2 weeks. So we have to have this information about orders and clients, all our CRM, all our sales management here organized in one place. From the e-commerce side, we need all this data organized, all the orders data. So if I want to analyze, and then of course the next step, which is not last but not least, so the statistic we want to have, we want our data to work for us, so we want to utilize it for the statistics. Now, and then again, this is where the data structure is very, very important, because if we structured our data correctly, for example, I want to compare now what design between all of my engagement rings works the best. If we organized our data structure correctly, we will be able to do this. If we didn't, then we will miss it. So this is why this data structure is also important, and all this serves all steps. This serves all steps of the operations. Now, next question is just a side note here. I just want to what does it mean from the e-commerce point of view? What means the multi-channel? Multi-channel means deeper e-commerce. So all the businesses are driven by time, saving time, and then growing, getting more money, staying updated with the technology, or getting better control. At this stage, at the stage when we switch from single channel to multi-channel, this is where the technology is being adopted. Simply because you want to be effective, you need this either control or money. This is where the technology is much more critical, both for automation and analytics, because nobody basically knows. Nobody knows what happens. It's interesting fact. Almost no business owners know when they look at their statistics of the best sellers, what happens on the second page of the results of their orders. So everybody knows the top 10, maximum top 20. Nobody knows what happens on the page 2 of the sales results, which basically means, and this page 2 actually is our most opportunity, because yes, we do know we establish our page 1 perfectly, but the page 2 is not there. So we don't get there, and very often there is a big part of the sales missing. So this is for the automation, and this is where tools become critical also. And then, of course, the number one on the multi-channel, it's like mantra, one source of data. This PIM, this product information management, one source of data. Because once we start to grow, let's say my website, I push my products into my website, and now I start using my Facebook store or my Google Shopping account, right, to promote this, or something else, or I start to work with my distributor. Everything has to be concentrated in one place, one source of data. So this principle, it's naturally happening when you're in a single channel. It's your Etsy store, it's your website. But once you go multi-channel, the PIM, the product information management tools, become critical, because otherwise we simply get lost in the synchronization between the data. And of course, the time saving, because if we need to propagate our products into 5 marketplaces, or maybe 5 points of presence, let's call it, right? Not necessarily marketplaces, then we can do it 5 times or once. So this is the preparation. This is the preparation we need to do this initialization on the e-commerce side, to get our data work for us. Normally, Excel is not enough on this stage. This is where we have to adopt some technology. So why do we need this data? As we said, there are many examples for this. On the B2C, normally additional marketplaces, additional website, social channels, social shoppings, as we say, it's some new term, which means the Instagram shop. And then on the B2B side, it can be online catalogs, it can be work with resellers, the additional channels for working with resellers, distributors, and then introducing the drop shipping solutions, and then some service systems, my internal CRM. The moment that I use it not only for my external operation, but also internal. So, and then the processes like sales and marketing, they can use this data to be more effective. So till now, we spoke about many things. I'm just trying to summarize the extension between the single channel to multi-channel is it's deeper e-commerce in a way that this is the moment when our products stop working for us. It might sound strange, but at this step, our data is much more critical. So these cases for B2B and B2C are quite obvious, but then additional things arise, like combining between B2B to B2C, internal channels, and marketing engines. We can, for example, take our data to expand from Etsy to a personal website, use for LinkedIn marketing, use our products for LinkedIn marketing. and improve sales processes. This is what data allows us. And on the multi-channel, when I have 2 or 3 stores, I cannot simply manage it manually. Well, I can, but it will be super duper irrational. So the expansion opportunities are endless. Now, obviously, marketplaces, we say, and then external channels, and then how we connect with people, email marketing, communication, visuals. And then one thing I just want to touch is the omni-channel, which is somehow forgotten by people, by many people, but it's very important, especially now because of the traveling limitations. People start their purchase online, but locally. Why? Because they know that there is a lot of limitation how the items, how jewelry can be transported from one place to another. So especially now the omni-channel, really, so mom and pop shops, they either die or they change. They change in the way that promoting our online presence, we basically push our clients or pull our clients into our physical store. And this is something very unique because till now, jewelry is a wearable product. It's a customizable product. So on the omni-channel, this is a big opportunity that people very often miss. Now, the rest, I think, is quite obvious. Many places we can go to expand. The idea is that each additional expansion should be really easy for us with a multi-channel, with a correct multi-channel data foundation. Now, the big question is where we go. Now, the 3 most common cases are Amazon, Etsy, and eBay. Each one is different, and the only way to understand what is my next step, there is no one right thing for everyone. The only way, this is just from the article that we wrote together with the web retailer. So there is no one way how you can how no one received. You have the only way you can know what is your next step is profiling your business. So this profiling of the business, if I'm going to the auctions websites, if I'm going to social, if I'm going into niche marketplaces or into large marketplaces, if I'm going omni-channel, if I'm going into B2B and B2C, the only way is profiling your jewelry business. What is your jewelry? What are your product lines? What are your prices? What are the designs? So eBay and Amazon are large marketplaces like simple designs, niche marketplaces like more unique designs. If you don't have unique designs, it's very difficult for you to handle your community. For example, so social is less interesting for you. If you develop your brand, you go to social and many other. Also in logistics, quick logistic, large marketplaces. Pre-made jewelry, you go to large marketplaces. If it's a virtual inventory or customized, you go to Etsy or Amazon Handmade or some niche marketplaces. So the main parameters are your jewelry, your logistic, your location. Of course, you want to utilize your location, your business scale, because some marketplaces require, or not necessarily marketplace, your website. To establish a normal website, you need decent amount of budget to run it forward. Unlike, let's say, Etsy, where you can start really low. And then, of course, your current state. If you are a B2B company, what is your goal? Should I expand to retail, or am I already on Etsy? So if I'm on Etsy and it goes well, maybe my next step is Amazon Handmade because they're similar. If I am successful on Amazon, then the big brother, then maybe the next step is my Walmart, and maybe the next one is means my brand is strong enough. I do want to be on my website, and this profiling, and then of course the technology product adoption. Now the technology adoption, as we say, is critical here. So how technologically gifted is your team? So if you are, then you can utilize all the perks of the online, and if you're not, you're quite limited at this stage. So this is how we address this. Now I don't want to get too deep into into each one of them, I just want to conclude because we don't want to have it too long. Now, some tips. Omnichannel does works, especially now that we see that people, because of the corona, sit home, something that people often miss. And a very common mistake when people come to us to Valigara and they say, "Hi guys, oh, you have integration with everything. Let us go into all of them." And we say, "Guys, no. Well, do whatever you want. It's your technology, but no. In meaning of every marketplace has its own farming, has its different rules. Unlike 2005, when people were putting just something on eBay and it was sold because there were almost no jewelers there and people were buying the products. Now the marketplaces and the sales channels and the websites and social marketing, it became very, very professional theme. As Oded likes to say, 2020 is the year when e-commerce became commerce. So because it's already commerce, first of all, trying doesn't work. It's a professional thing. Second, each marketplace requires proper farming, proper learning. And we do not recommend going into 3 to 5 marketplaces, push the button and see what happens. Nothing happens. So our recommendation here is to try one or two channels simultaneously, and do not expect for any magic to happen in 3 months. We always recommend at least 1 year to test it. Why? Simply because jewelry is a seasonable product. So when people start now in February, we say, guys, okay, you are targeting now in March, sorry, you're targeting now, you're planning now, you're preparing now for Christmas. So you have to run at least this one sales season, which is in jewelry online from September, let's say, to February, to see what happens. So this farming takes time, and we recommend go step by step. Take not one marketplace, not one social channel, not maybe one additional presence, but take 2. Why? So that you can test it. So you can try test. For example, we know that Instagram works best with Amazon, and we know and with Etsy, and we know that Pinterest works perfectly with Etsy, and we know that Facebook works great with eBay. So there are different multi-channel and cross-channel opportunities. You have to check them and compare. Now, A/B test, you need 2 to A/B test to create a comparison and analyze the results and go for the next one. Don't try things for 1 week or 2 weeks. It just doesn't work. Now, and probably the most important thing that we see is on the team level. The major switch from single to multi-channel is that at this stage, one person is not enough. Even if the person is ready to run 24/7, not because of this, because each marketplace, each sales channel, each marketing system, like if you go Google AdWords ads, or if you go into Facebook ads, or you go into social, or you go into content marketing, or you go into any sphere, it's different set of skills. So from the most important probably switch you have to do when you go from single channel to multi-channel is the switch from one-man show to teamwork. Normally, we see at this stage that there is a separate person running the inventory and orders and maybe the customer services and sales. A different person is concentrated on the website and on the PPC, paid campaigns, and another one on the marketplaces management. Because all this, unlike 2005 or 2007, 2010, when it was just very simple, we can see also that Amazon PPC are really require learning. eBay requires learning. Each marketplace became its own empire. So at this stage, the main switch is from one man to the teamwork. To summarize very briefly what we learned in 10 years, probably of the operation. Now, naturally, you need the technology. This is where Odette starts smiling. Of course, Valigara is here to support the operation. And how do I identify the technology? Generally, it can be Excel, but the idea is that it should be all-inclusive, preferably jewelry specific, because there are many twists that you can do with a jewelry when you sell jewelry or a chair or an iPhone online. It's very different, and make sure that it's updated because many things change. We have many professional, very professional companies switching to Valigara from the home build systems because they say we cannot continue developing all the time according to the changes. So to the changes on Facebook, on Google, on eBay, Amazon, and so on. So make sure it's updated. And what we see online allows you to combine B2B and B2C. Because the moment because you don't sell real products, and it's only up to you if you want to scale it from B2C to B2B. And opposite, if you already have the inventory and the abilities to manufacture, once you get the required skills for the multi-channel, you can also find the solutions to switch from B2B or to extend the B2B to B2C. Cloud-based solutions, support and adoption. No system goes without the support, no proper system, because your most valuable thing is time. And this learning curve can be 1 year and can be 1 month. And it's very important when you look for the technology, of course, the proper support and very built processes of how to adopt this technology.
We have a couple of questions from the audience, Igor. Do you want to take them?
Please do. That's not me in the picture, right?
No.
No, that's not me in the picture. I'm with you. Yes, please do that.
She looks like a relative, though. Can you
Yes.
Can you bring back to the summary slide, 2 slides back? Another one back. Great. Let's stay on this one. And we have a question from Robert. Robert asked, "What are some quick wins for jewelry online sellers?" So you were clear that it usually takes some time to succeed in online commerce with jewelry, but Robert asks, "Are there any quick wins?"
Okay. Well, okay. Yes, we do see some quick results for jewelers because if you have similar operation, let's say, as I gave an example, you have Etsy and your items are good to go for Bonanza or good to go for Amazon Handmade. Well, these are maybe not that great, not that active marketplaces as Etsy, but if the marketplaces are similar, yes, you can get yourself very quickly established on additional marketplaces. But we really see it as curiosis. Yes, we see people start selling suddenly. We say suddenly because this is not part of your strategy. These quick wins are not part of the strategy. It's nice to have results, but not part of it. So yes, we see people start selling on additional marketplace in 2-3 months. But again, take this farming period and do not look for this quick wins. This is what we see.
Another question from Steve. He's asking, are all channels act the same for jewelers, or do different jewelers see their jewelry sold better on different channels?
Got it. Yes, so that's a very good question. From what we see, almost always we see one leading channel, and then the rest of it adding, let's say, 20-30% to the operation. Now, the idea is that probably you have found the right way to work in a specific place. Now, two reasons. So you found the right way, and what happens, because from what we see, normally people do, companies do not allocate enough resources into expanding because they're busy on making money, which is okay. So then there is one marketplace or the website or the approach, the combination of Facebook ads and with the website, or my Instagram brings 60% of the traffic to my Etsy. The rest is very much escorting. What is more interesting with that, that the moment that you're able to expand, we see many cases that people come to us as a very successful Etsy seller. And then after a year, we see that the data is organized, people are ready to, the company is ready to go to additional stores. And then suddenly we see that Amazon, boom, jumps high and triples the results of Etsy. Why? Because this is exactly the switch from single channel to multi-channel, that the moment that you organized your data correctly and you adjusted yourself to the marketplaces, then you can basically test. And we see normal expansion takes about a year. We often see people come with one channel to Valigara, and then they expand to another one. It takes another year. And then another year, they expand to the website, and then 70% of the sales are, this is a miracle. Basically, I believe that this is the final destination. 70% are on the websites. And then they continue to develop new websites because it's easy if your data is organized to target different target audiences. So yes, it's not equal, but you have to be very, very alert, and maybe there are more opportunities because the business changes, your business change, and the online environment also changes all the time.
Okay, great. And we have one last question that we can accommodate during the time that we have from Claire. She says, you say we sell data, not products. What do you mean we sell products? What about products, pictures, emotions, relationships? Why is the focus on data?
Okay, so let me explain a little bit better. So let's say I have my Etsy store and I have 500 products. Now the 50 products are real products I have here in my box. And another 400 products, I actually have an agreement with a jeweler. Let's say I'm a designer, or I have an agreement with a diamond manufacturer that he will bring, I will buy the diamonds from him. The moment that the product exists, the product is being ordered. So there are 500 products on my Etsy store, but actually the real products are 50. Now, when we look at the diamond jewelry, what we see online, 90% is virtual inventory, because you simply cannot generate all this inventory and hold all the combination of the white gold, yellow gold, 14K, 18K, 1 carat, 1.5 carat, 1.3 carat. All this does not exist. What does exist, what we see is the rhino, is the rendering of the of some model, and the product will be created the moment that it's being ordered in specific combination, 40K, 14K white gold with 1.3 DVS2 round stone. So the idea is that we don't sell physical products. They not necessarily exist. And when we speak about the marketing part, the emotional, all this part, we do not create it around the product. We create it around the promise. What we sell is a promise of sending the item, which does not really mean that the product already exists. So we might take it out from the box and send it, or we can produce and send it. This is the difference. This is the switch from the real inventory, which retailers are used to work with, to the virtual inventory. And this is a very critical step because it allows us to grow our offering multiple times. So from this point of view, I hope that this answers the question. we don't sell products. We sell information about products or price.
Thanks, Igor. So thank you for this session. Thank you for your insights. I'm sure that everybody on the webinar learned a lot. To the question of Sharon in the chat, this presentation will be available online in the coming days on Valigara's social channels, on Facebook and LinkedIn, and also on our YouTube channel, which you can follow. If you have any questions to Igor, I want to make a promise here, since we're selling a promise, that we will answer your questions if you reach out on our website or our social channels. And if you want to learn more about selling jewelry online, we encourage you to get in touch with us for a demonstration of Valigara and the value that it can bring to your jewelry business. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy selling.
Thank you. Ciao.